guys, welcome back to the Creative Hustle. I'm your host Anika, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to keep relationships as a creative. Now, I know what you all are thinking, how relationships and creativity interlinked, how does it even connect to the Creative Hustle? Well, let me tell you, this is going to be a very interesting episode, and just stay till the end. Trust me, it's going to be worth your time. Anyway, let's get into it. First of all, thank you so much for joining me. Relationships are a huge topic. They're always platonic, non-platonic, all the things. But what we don't realize, relationships are also the non-platonic ones, where we can kind of see our friendships and family evolving and turning into something bigger, like a community group, where you can kind of just use their tools and use their help to grow and be someone you want to be. As a creative, it's very important to have that support group, because without it, it's tough to kind of market or influence people enough to want to check out your work. For me, I'm a singer-songwriter, so it's very important for me to have that group of people who I can trust and have this special bond with and share my things and hope that they like it. But at the same time, you do need some critics too, who will honestly tell you what is wrong with it, which is why communication is key. I know a lot of people who tend to look at others, just sit in the corner, look at others, and kind of do some little eye contact thing, and spend the time just watching them and not saying a word. That's kind of the person you want to stay away from in terms of creating a special group, because they're not gonna be useful unless you want the silent kind, which will nod and be like, okay, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good. But the people who kind of are reserved are best fit for when you kind of want the person to always just say yes. That doesn't mean that anyone who's quiet out there is not the best person to be part of a group. They might be the best person, lovely person, but you kind of want to go through this special checklist in your head. Think about what do you want in your special arena of people. Do you want someone who is nice, or do you want someone who is outspoken, or do you want someone who's both? Do you want someone, if you're doing music in that case, do you want someone who likes pop music like Taylor Swift, or do you want someone who likes rap music like Travis Scott? Do you want someone who likes jazz music like Leve, or country music like Lainey Wilson? The question you want to ask if you're a singer-songwriter specifically. But if you're a creative, you kind of just want to ask yourself other questions that matter to you, like what do you want in this relationship? What do you want when it comes to creativity, and what do you want in your group? I know I keep saying the word group, but it's just to emphasize the fact that groups are kind of what make creativity and building your platform even more efficient. Another point I want to make is, a lot of people, they tend to compare. I do that too. But what we kind of want to see is that we don't stoop down to other people's level, especially if they're being rude or very annoying about it. I try to keep my company as sustainable and clean as possible, which means I try to keep all the toxic people out of it. Of course, sometimes you have tiny cracks in the middle, and people do tend to pour in, and you get overwhelmed and fall into the trap where you're down underground in the tunnels, where you really feel like you're the best place possible, when in reality you are just shrunk into this tiny space where you cannot get out and feel suffocated. That is something very important in creativity, because the creative industry can be very cruel. Even the podcast industry is very cruel, very competitive, but somehow we managed to pull through, and I'm very happy about that. And I think that's probably why I'm talking about this right now in this episode, because since the creative industry is just so competitive and so intense, it can become very overwhelming very fast. So it's important to kind of slow yourself down, look around your surroundings, talk to people, understand what they're going through, be the first person to go. Do not wait for that person or wait for that opportunity to come to you. You have to walk up to them and be like, hey, this is what I want to talk about, let's do this. Or hi, let's work on this song together, or let's work on this creative project together. Because when you attack and Seize your opportunity. You're going to do the greatest job possible. You wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 10 years even. Chances are the opportunity is going to go, it's going to find that opportunity is going to go to someone else, and you'll be lost cause. You will be like, oh, why didn't I talk then? Why didn't I say what I wanted to say? Okay, moving on. Experimentation. Experimentation is also very important. You want to have all kinds of people in your group. I did mention that quiet people kind of want to not make the majority of your group quiet because you want people talking and not just sitting and watching your face. But experimentation is very important. You want interesting group of people. If you're doing music again, I'm just bringing music up because I'm a music person, so it's easier to talk about. If you are trying to do a project where you're singing about or writing a song about love and how it's relating to Romeo and Juliet or whatever, you could basically just find people who like Romeo and Juliet and some people who do not like Romeo and Juliet, some people who are into the idea of love and someone who are not, because you kind of want to see two perspectives of how they clash and how you can make your song the best it can be. So this experimentation can make you feel like a stronger person. My biggest point right now is just be super confident and make moves for your goal. Just do not worry about what's happening on the other side. What is this person doing? What's the person next to you doing? What's the person behind you doing? Just focus on your goal and make moves to reach your goal. Seize your opportunities and just be proud of who you are. Be honest. Don't be shady. I know I'm saying this. Some people who are listening to the episode know what I'm talking about when I say don't be shady, and they're probably laughing right now, considering how shady I'm being in this episode. But this episode is really important to me though. So I hope I got the message across. I think you all are amazing people. I think you have probably achieved a lot by now. I know a lot of you are, either in your mid-teens or maybe older, and no matter what your age is, just want to let you know this episode is for all of you. I hope you all were able to take out something special from this and were able to learn something new. Thank you so much everyone for listening, and I hope you have a great evening.